KC Woodworks for you. This is a little dark in here. Hold on. Hopefully that's a little better. I can't tell. It still looks pretty dark for some reason. It's getting dark outside and that always affects my lighting in the shop. I've got some new lights, but I haven't had time to put them up yet, so I apologize. But how would you like to make one of these? Yes, it is a shop storage cubby space with drawers and sliding shelves and all sorts of cool things. It's just a shop project. Anything could happen. It might turn blue and black. Who knows? Anyways, check it out. KC Woodworks for you. Welcome back. Okay, so cut one. I'm going to take this board, cut down 10 inches because that is going to be the depth of our little shelving unit. And then I believe I'm going to go 24 inches long and 10 to 12 inches tall. Probably 12. These two pieces here, they are 10 inches wide by 24 inches long. These are my top and bottom. I only need 4 dividers. Now they are going to be 12 inches long instead of 2 feet because they're the uprights. So 5 12-inch pieces and two 2-feet pieces for our back and bottom. So now we are going to mark and cut the dados for these to fit in and their assigned locations. Top and bottom receive 2 dados. For the drawers we're spaced to 6 inch, so we'll have a 6-inch drawer. And for the shelves area here we have 7 inches. And then we have 8.5 inches here, which will allow for papers and stuff. I'm going to adjust my blade to 3/8 of an inch. Well, actually just under, because this plywood is supposed to be 3/4, but it never is exactly on 3/4. This one happens to be a 1/16 under. 5/16. I am going to rabbet the ends of the top and bottom and the 2 sides. Okay, so 1 divider there, 1 divider there. Come flush here because they are out about 1/16 of an inch for some reason. Now to fix the depth problem with it coming flush with the edge of our bottom pieces, I have adjusted my blade in small increments until it fit into the opposing rabbet flush at its edge. So what that does is give me a perfect 90 degrees upright, and it comes up to meet the opposing cut that we made before. Okay, so now I'm going to run these through. I have adjusted my fence so that it is exactly at 5/16, which is the depth of cut we need. And this will give us a perfect 90 degree to our side pieces here. So now we'll test it. Okay, it looks pretty good. So now I'll repeat this with all 4 of these corners. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Everything's flush.
So now we can start working.
Oops. So now we can start working on our shelves and drawers, which means we gotta put dados. Okay, so all I did was kind of figure out roughly where I wanted my drawers to be. What I've done is just basically divided it into 3, accounted for an 1/8 inch gap in between each drawer. Okay, so the drawer slide dados are done. You can see they're all cut. Now these are a 1/2 inch. I just kind of got this crudely clamped together here just to give you an idea. So drawers, now we got to do the dados for the shelves in this section. I'm going to cut the shelves that will go in the second cubby space. So now I'm going to adjust my fence to my 12 inches. and lock it in place. Now I'm going to take this piece of plywood here and I'm going to rip it, and this is going to become the base of our drawers. Okay, so now we need to put the rabbets on the end. So I've barely got my blade raised up. It's just under 3/8. Okay, so now we have our rabbets on each side, which leaves us a 1/2 inch material here, which will slide into these Dados. Our shelves are in here, which these ones, I thought I was going to glue them, but this side was going to be a sliding shelf, so I kind of like that idea that I can pull it out, grab it on need, push it back. Okay, so I have my cross-side Dados cut, which this is the area where it will sit back. The front pieces of the drawers will sit into those grooves like so. All of those grooves, like this, are done. The only thing left to do is to run this bottom dado, which will accept the bottom plate over there, or here, this bottom plate here. We're all set up for the first cut. The width is going to bring us to the very top of our dado cut, and then we'll just move back in increments to hit our all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so now we have all 3 of our Dados cut for the last 2 face plates of our drawers. Only thing left to do is get the miter gauge back on here and cut these to their final length. We now have 3 face plates for our drawers. 1, 2, 3, all dadoed, ready to accept everything else. The only thing left is to cut my hardboard sides to length. So all 3 drawers are glued together. Very simple. Our hardboard slid into the dado grooves with some glue. The back panel with the dados that we cut. The 1 rabbet here that fit over top of the base. And then the 2 rabbets here that accepted the hardboard. Now I'm just going to trim this top box. This top box is a smaller dimension, even though I made it the same as the rest. I thought it easier to keep it all the same and then trim this box after. Basically,
put 3 different this way, and then this way, and then this way, and then this way until I've done the whole box.
Also, when you are cutting MDF, the hardboard, wear one of these. MDF, the dust is toxic, it's not good for you, so protect your lungs. So, there it is. Now, it doesn't look like it lines up. Like I said, it's not sitting square. For some reason, one of the hardest things about this build
is trying to line these dados up so that they are perfect to each other. It can get confusing when you have dados to cut on each side of a board, right? So, one way that I decided was probably a foolproof way of doing it, cut one side. So here we have one side cut here, now we want to match this one up. I've got my small level here. Simply put it on the mark, make sure it's level. It's hard to do with one hand, and then mark your other side there. Now, once you get that done, pull your board out, run it across your table saw, and you should line up perfectly.
I had a brainstorm. Why am I using this expensive Baltic Birch when I can use this reclaimed wood? You can see I just made about a 1/16 of a pass. This is where it'll be, and then this portion is already going to be sticking out past. We'll stick it past the cabinet itself as a little handle, so when it slides in, you won't see that dado here like you do on the other ones. Now, as I move my blade up in my increments, when I pull it up, I hit the stop block, that's as far as I go, then it won't go past and protrude through the front. Yeah, there it is. It looks like it's a full shelf, but on the side you can see it's dadoed or rabbited, so they slide in pretty cool. This looks pretty cool too. I like it. How it's gonna match up with the rest of the unit, I don't know, but it's a shop thing, so it really doesn't make any difference to me. Here's what I've decided. I like these so much, I decided to make these similar. So I took some more wood off, this mahogany, and I put a dado down the middle of it that accepts this piece of plywood, which is 3/4 of an inch. And then I basically half lap the ends so that they'll fit up into here. Bam! I'm back. Okay, so now I have the dado groove here. So what I do to get my measurements for the cutout, I could get all technical and measure it and such. But what I'm going to do is just basically mark just inside. There. Just mark a little mark just on the inside of where I need this to be cut back. You only want to take out as deep as the dado, and the remainder will stick out front like this. So now we have 4 pull-out shelves, I guess we'll call them, pull-out shelves. So yeah, that's it. One thing to remember when you're clamping this on, make sure you have it in the right spot. I think I'm actually going to clamp it while it's still in here and have it set back. I did keep a very small gap, let's see it there, in between this piece and the sides, just to make sure that it doesn't swell and get, you know, binded up at some point. And I did the same thing with my shelves. You can see they're a tad wiggly. If it ever swells, there's lots of room for it to expand and contract. Alright, so simple glue up, just like everything else, just add glue. Okay, so I'm just going to add some glue on all 3 sides.
So don't put glue on it for whatever you do, for God's sakes, don't do it!
There it is. Pull out just fine. Alright, so let's glue the main carcass up. Okay, so now everything is waxed. It slides magnificently, if you can get a hold of it. Much better than it did before, especially with the issues we had with the wood splitting and this crappy plywood that shouldn't be crappy, but it is. Yeah, it's come out pretty good. And this salvaged wood here off of that old cabinet of mine looks really cool. This I think I'm going to go with the blue stain. This blue stain, this mahogany. This one's a little splotchy because it still had some of the old stain on it, but that's what this will look like here. And then the plywood itself will have that blue to it too, and once it has a clear coat on it, it really pops off. Now keep in mind, this is for a shop. You don't even need that. You can just put that floor wax on up there and it would protect it for years, and give it a nice little glow too. But yeah, I like that blue, so I want to put it on something else. So now we're going to cut this handle out, and we will make sure that they're exactly the same by going over to the router and using a pattern bit on the shape. And then we will also take a rabbeting bit and create a rabbet around the whole thing so that we have somewhere to grab onto. So now I'm just going to finesse this good one here to my exact lines. These ones I'm going to bring just a tad closer to the line, like areas like this. And then these two will be patterned off of this one, so they are exact. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut a tiny little strip of double-sided tape. We'll stick it to my good template. To the next handle I need to duplicate. And make sure that I have extra material all the way around. Okay, so here's our little handles. Man, that looks so much better. Now that's on there, you can slide it in. Those handles look pretty cool. So I'm putting my cherry trim on now. Simply doing that by measuring measuring my piece, I'll mark it up here for its length, and then I will also mark it against each of these dados with a mark here and a mark here, and then simply cut the dado at the same size, which will let the drawers and shelves slide as they did before it was on. So there it is, and it's spot on the bench and a space saver compared to the nothingness I had before and the mess that was there before. As you can see, this plexiglass little divider thing has been mounted on top. Our drawers are all stained. I went 2 colors just to kind of experiment. It's for the shot, or if it's, I wouldn't normally do that, but it looks cool, I think, anyways. It's kind of me. So we have ebony on the drawer fronts and ebony on the mahogany here, and then all the plywood is stained a blue, the deep ocean blue, and then it's just clear coated. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. We have our 3 drawers, 1, 2, 3. We have 4 pull-out shelves, which stores all the things that I use most right here on the all the stuff I use most here. And then also another set of pull-out trays with my miscellaneous box, my most commonly used screws, and my miscellaneous screws from here and there. And my drill bits usually sit up here, but right now they're down there. So yeah, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I hope you really enjoyed it. If this is your first time here, we have new woodworking videos out every week. I try to put them out every Friday, but my schedule is really hectic right now, what with getting married in a few weeks and all my customer projects, plus you guys. So, with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. It will be your last. No. So anyways, you can check us out on Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the like button. And do that on Facebook. You can check out all the builds from past videos and before the videos. So again, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Check that out. And upcoming, I am currently building a tripod stand. Fully adjustable legs, and the only thing left to do is the head for the camera, which right now is the phone, so I'm going to have to make some sort of a case for that.